things in our community that matters, things that really make a difference. So tonight we have an opportunity to hear some stories and to recognize some of our members who've done some very, very special things. The individuals we're going to call up here tonight, as you can probably imagine, are a pretty humble bunch. So they're not too keen on having to come up on stage and be recognized in front of their family and friends. Most of the time, the things they do, they typically see it as just doing their job. And as you heard from Jeff, what makes it a little special is when your peers take the time to nominate you for an award. That's why we're here tonight, because they've done some really good things, some really important things that their peers said, we need to recognize them. If I could ask Justin Fleming to join us on stage. So in March of last year, Justin was on a flight to Paris with his wife and son. And about 5 hours into the flight, speaker opened on the plane and a flight attendant made a request for anybody with medical training to contact them immediately. The flight was approaching midpoint over the Atlantic, and the pilot wanted to know if the patient's condition was serious enough to warrant turning around and returning to the East Coast. No pressure, 500 people, going on vacation. So it was a big decision, and the crew was actually looking to Justin for his opinion. So doing a patient assessment and providing treatment was a little more complicated because the patient only spoke Portuguese. Fortunately, the flight crew spoke English and French. Didn't quite work. But they did find one of the flight attendants who spoke a little bit of Spanish. Through their work as a team, Justin was able to assess the patient, determine that although he was in significant pain and definitely had a medical emergency, that if they could make him comfortable, reduce some swelling, that they thought they could continue on. At one point, a French doctor ultimately decided to help about 20 minutes into the whole thing and came up to help as well. Talked with Justin and they agreed that they should administer some drugs. The doctor wasn't as comfortable doing those injections as Justin was. So they were able to provide some medication to the patient, help reduce swelling with some ice packs, keep him comfortable for the remaining 6 hours of the flight. Landed at Charles de Gaulle International Airport, where they were met by an ambulance, took the patient to the hospital. The flight crew, as you can imagine, and the rest of the passengers thanked Justin for his help, and he continued on his vacation with his wife and son. For his actions, the Huntington Beach Fire Department is proud to bestow the Meritorious Service Award on Justin Fleming. Again, I would like to ask to return to the stage Fire Engineer Justin Fleming. Another 2014 not to be forgotten. Promotions, Paris vacations, getting 500 people to where they wanted to go without turning the plane around. So let me tell you another story about Justin and why we're giving him a Lifesaving Award. It was August 22nd, and he was actually visiting relatives who had come into town to stay at one of our local hotels here in Huntington Beach. So it was early in the evening. They're standing by the pool, drying off their son. I think we met him. And Justin's wife alerted him to a child in the water because she heard people screaming from the other side of the pool. The child was on their back under the water, not moving, and there was another child trying to do something and help. So Justin pulled the young child from the pool, determined that the child was unconscious, was not breathing, and he immediately started mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Employee of the hotel came running over. Justin quickly identified himself as a member of the fire department, told the employee to call 911 and to immediately bring back an automatic defibrillator. Shortly thereafter, a physician came to Justin's aid, seeing that Justin was doing a phenomenal job with the child. The doctor took over communicating with the family to try and help them through what was clearly an emergency. Justin continued his mouth-to-mouth respirations, and after several very, very stressful moments, probably seemed like hours, the young child finally vomited a large amount of water and began to breathe. So as you can imagine, parents are looking on. There's over 100 people around the pool, and pretty emotional event. You can imagine the cheers and the applause when the child started to breathe. Soon reached for mom. Justin, being a parent, he knows what that means. Give the child to mom. So he did, so they could share a huge embrace. He told the parents that the child definitely needed to get to an emergency room. The paramedics were pulling up on scene, and shortly thereafter, the fire department took the young child to the hospital. And maybe to help me with this award, the Bradley family's here with Kendall. So as you can see, Kendall in her red dress, happy, healthy, and a big smiling 3-year-old because of this guy's actions. So I'm honored. Honored for his actions that the fire department bestows upon Justin the Lifesaving Award, and I think Kendall and her parents should present this.